Hi guys, I'm super excited to share with you a process video for the greeting farm stamps. And I'm using an oldie but goodie, the Oliver Amelia set, the OA, My Favorite Things, and I am creating a card for my husband's birthday. So let's get started. I am using Nina's solar cardstock, white cardstock, and then I am trying out the Gina K ink pad in black, and I will be doing Copic coloring. So you'll see how nice and crisp the image came out, and how cute is Ollie. So anyway, I'm coloring the skin first, and my go-to colors are E50 and E53. So I like to do the E50 all around to just have a base, and then use the E53 all along the borders of the hair and just the edges and any areas that would create a shadow, like under the eyes or the mouth. And then I go back in and blend with the E50 just to get it nicely blended. And I usually forget to do, I think I forgot the neck when I did the hands. So usually for the hair color, I use like C5, 7, and 9, but I think I ran out of those colors. So I'm using the warm colors, W5, W7, and W9. So I like to alternate the colors. So I'm starting off with the light color and then the middle color, because I usually have three colors I work with, like the light, the middle, and then the dark. So then I did the light, I did the medium, and now I'm doing the darkest, which here is W9. So just kind of going in and trying to do light strokes, but I do have a heavy hand, and I must say I'm not the best colorist. So I just go in and just do strokes all around. I mean, what's great is he's a boy, he can have messy hair, right? But I love the greeting farm stamps because they have so much room to color. There's a lot of room to color, a lot of space, like doing the hair and then the skin. So it's great to practice your coloring with too. So you'll see after the dark, I went back, and then I went back to dark to medium to light. So, and then I go light, medium, dark. I just kind of go around doing that. And usually at the end, I just kind of do a last touch of the darkest to kind of highlight it, and then also the lightest. And then for the jeans, I think those are my go-to, the blues, like 93, 95, and 99. Or I mean 97, 90, 93, 95, 97, I believe. And I usually just, same thing, just kind of, I think with this, I think I outlined with the darkest first, and then kind of tried to blend in with the lighter, medium, and then light. So you'll see with anything, you can just, once you add the lighter, it kind of lightens it. You can also use your colorless blender, the 0, to kind of do the highlights of the white. For the tan, I think I use the browns, the E55 and 57. Those are my go-to, like browns for like shoes or the jackets. So to add that like caramel look. So you'll see here I did a layer of the light color and then the dark. So you have something to blend to. Because if you just lay down the color, I don't think it'll blend as well as if you do like a coat of color. So for the t-shirt, I'm using YG, I think 15 and 17 I showed you. And I do like to do a little swatch like on the side of the paper to see how they actually blend. And here I'm doing a little like surgical move here. I am transforming, since it is for a birthday card, I could have used the fish because my husband loves fish, but I thought a birthday cake or a cupcake would be more appropriate just because it's a birthday card. And so I found the Birthday Anya stamp that I'm going to use, and I didn't care about her whole image, because I'm just going to cut out the cupcake. So you can see I'm just coloring the cupcake with the yellow, like the frosting. And then I usually have a hard time deciding what colors to do the cupcake. I could have used pink or this and then, but it's a masculine card. I just kind of wanted to keep it like neutral colors, or like the liner you see I used blue. And I also like to look at what colors I used for the focal image for the boy, like his clothes, and try to match. And I'm just fussy cutting the cupcake to see if it'll fit. And yay, it does fit. It will cover the fishbowl. So now I just have to fussy cut him out. And hope you guys don't get too bored with the fussy cutting. But what I had to do was I had to cut his arm, a little into his arm, so I can tuck the cupcake in a little further in, because it was in order to have a place for it to adhere to. And then I kind of cut around, kind of measured to see where I needed to cut to fit it. And then actually you'll see I'm leaving like a white border around when I'm cutting, but I end up deciding not to leave a border, and I think I fussy cut to make it closer later. You'll see. I don't know if I edited it out or not, but I am going to add a little foam adhesive to the cupcake just to add more dimension to it. And then you'll see that's how it looks. And then yes, I do end up cutting closer to the edge. Sometimes it looks nice. It depends on my mood whether I leave a white border or not. But I think because the cupcake I didn't leave a white border, I just wanted to be consistent with how it looked. And then I end up fussy cutting all around, and I do cut off like his hair that just has like the two little alfalfa hair strands that pop up, just because it's hard to cut that without seeing the white, in my opinion. So yeah, you see I just kind of cut it off, and he looks fine either way. You can always draw it back in when you add it to your card, but that's how it is. And as I'm, just a tip with fussy cutting, I'm right-handed, so I'll hold the scissor with the right, and then as I cut, I move my left hand in the image, and I move it around the scissor. It just makes it a little easier for me. And then, so I'm using this cardstock in that navy. I think these are like MFT cardstocks, but they're nice and thick. So it's a regular A2 size card. I cut it an 8.5 by 11.5 by 5.5, and then scored it at 4.25. And then the inner mat I did 4 by 5.25. And then you'll see those mint doilies. They are so pretty. I'd gotten it at the Dollar Spot, or Bullseye's Playground now, the Dollar Spot at Target. So I'm trying to figure out, I love the look. I had to add my feminine touch to the masculine card, but it still kind of looks nice. So I was trying to position it. And that's another stamp set from the Greeting Farm. And these are the clear stamps, which I love because you can see exactly where you're positioning them. And then I'm just trying to kind of figure out my layout to make sure that I can stamp the sentiment on without it being covered or blocked by the doily. So I had stamped Your Birthday, and I was going to do Enjoy. And I wanted to do it in a different color, and I wanted to see what color green, if the green on green would look nice. So if it was dark enough to show up. And it does, so I did that first. And then I recommend stamping first before you adhere the piece, because if you adhere the piece and it's not where you want it to be, or you can't fit the stamp, then you have a problem. Or if you try to stamp with the paper uneven, it messes up your stamp crispness too. And then you can see the doily was so thin that I had trouble with my adhesive tape runner. It was like eating it up. So that's that. And then now just positioning where the little boy is. So I had to be really gentle. You saw how it ripped. So it didn't matter because it was in the back and it wasn't going to show. And so then, of course, I had to add more stuff. I wanted to add the ribbon just to keep the image grounded a little, so he's not totally floating in space. So those are just American craft ribbon with hearts and that dark navy, which is beautiful. And so I end up adding foam adhesive to the image and pop it up. And I thought I was finished, but then of course I had to add Wink of Stella to everything in clear. And then I was like, oh, I could never leave well enough alone. And I was like, oh, it's missing. The background is plain. And I like it clean and simple like that. But of course I had to add hearts. Hearts to the border. Oh, not the border, to the background. Just to add some more elements to it. So some red hearts. Kind of to match like the cupcake. So it's kind of like drifting. See, like I said, so it's harder to kind of stamp because you have uneven levels, like the different dimensions, but I made it work. And I love the memento markers just to fix all my little boo-boos in case it doesn't stamp clearly. And then adding more Wink of Stella, of course, to make things pop. So that's my card. Hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely check out the Greeting Farm. Those are the two stamps I used, Birthday Anya and the OA, My Favorite Things, and also that stamp set with the wonderful sentiments. I forget what it's called, but hope you have a great day and check them out, thegreetingfarm.com. Bye, guys.